I admit this is not the most ideal way to do this scene stop, but in the interest of safety, it's the way that it needs to be done. So today's scene stop is going to take us to the areas in Orange County where an event happened in 1992, right after I graduated high school, called the Day of the Dog. This was actually Day of the Dog 2. There was a guy named Robin Underdog that kind of infiltrated the scene for, I don't know, a few months, maybe more, maybe less. And they had done another show called Day of the Dog, which I think, he told me this in 92, I think was in England, and he told me it was really, really well attended. So anyway, he was trying to do another one with all these bands in the hardcore scene. And, you know, if you look at the lineup, it's kind of odd. It makes me wonder how much he really knew about the scene, because you have Unbroken opening, which is highly ironic since of all the bands on that flyer, Unbroken are easily the biggest band still. So there's no way I think that they would have opened. And it's a sheer crime that ICE would have played like at 6 o'clock in the middle of that bill. It doesn't make a lot of sense. And then Outspoken was supposed to play, Strife was supposed to play, Downcast was supposed to play, Underhand was supposed to play, Full Contact, that's Dan Gump's band. So anyway, where I'm going with this is it was one of those shows, there was a lot of grand designs behind it, but it wasn't grandly designed. And so it was supposed to initially take place at an area called, I think, Rubel Park. It was supposed to be in this big park. And then it completely got switched up. It was then put in a sushi bar. And so you know, I show up there, suddenly we get the call, we're playing a sushi bar instead, called Sakura, hopefully I'm saying that close to correctly, in Huntington Beach, Adams and Beach, I think it is. So that's where this portion of the video will go. You're gonna see it now. So we are here in the parking lot of where the sushi bar Sakura was, and I think it was over there, if I remember, from 1992, or it was over there. It was one of those two buildings, which I'm gonna show some video of, but it was, like I said, supposed to be at that park. It ended up not happening at the park, and suddenly it was like, go to this sushi bar called Sakura. And like, you know, if you've done shows, when there's supposed to be a show and then they move it at the last minute, you just kind of lose people with every move. That's why when it moved from the park to the sushi bar, there weren't that many people there. And then you move from the sushi bar to, there was a big gap in the show, and then it was go to the Coming Soon warehouse. You go to the Coming Soon warehouse. There was actually some people there, but Outspoken was gonna play. They ended up not playing for whatever reason. But yeah, this is the parking lot where the Day of the Dog 2 kind of ended up. And yeah, it was one of those things where, I mean, like I said, or, you know, like I talk about in the video, the show, the people that ran the sushi bar, I think, did not know that it was essentially, the idea was that it was a straight edge, though. I think that was Robin Underdog who put on the Day of the Dog thing at, you know, at the Coming Soon warehouse, and then at the sushi bar. Like, I think he was trying to kind of push straight edge. And I mean, so that building over there that maybe was the sushi bar, or that building right there, which I think may have been the sushi bar. That's the thing, is these things are two totally different buildings now. They're like a grooming place and a vet place, so I don't know. So I'm just gonna kind of walk around a little bit, show it to you, and that'll be our scene stop. I'd like to thank you so much for tuning in and for watching this Scenestop, looking at the Coming Soon Warehouse, which played host to a bunch of shows. One of the more notable being the Day of the Dog, which, yeah. And then kind of wonder whatever happened to Robin Underdog. He I believe opened up, and I'm going to do a Scenestop on this place, Club Apparition in Fullerton. So we will find out about that later, but I'm going to do that one as well. And that was a really cool place, but they only, I think, had like a handful of shows, and then they went kaput. But they were right near the Ice House, which we need to do a Scenestop for there too. Thank you so much again for tuning in to the Scenestop and for enjoying Orange County Hardcore Scenester Aftermath. So, as you can see, that place is a grooming place. At one point it was a Slater's 50-50, might still be or might be part of one. But I think that's where the sushi bar was. And I think that we played, I think you walked in, maybe over there to like the side, and then we played in sort of that area to the, if you're facing it, to the left of the grooming sign. And then, or it was right over here, which is the pet vet. But this just seems too far, and I don't remember it being here. And this looks kind of big for a sushi bar. I'm gonna see. Well, you know, standing over here, this looks like it may have been where the sushi bar was. So I may have found it, because I seem to recall us kind of hanging out in this area, resting after my band played, and it's just hard to tell because it's such a different building now. But I think that this was the sushi bar. Yeah, just kind of looking behind me. Yeah, well, we'll never fully know, or maybe we will if anyone wants to post in the comments. Well, folks, I did some research into this building and this building, and this is where Sakura was, where we had the show, where Ice played its portion of Day of the Dog. Full Contact played, ended with a chorus song, Full Circle Stop. It took place right, you know, kind of in the back area. And this is where it happened back in 1992. This was, at one point, the sushi bar. And yeah, so we found the right one. Thank you very much to the Huntington Beach Vet and Animal Hospital for giving us the right location for where the sushi bar Sakura was in Huntington Beach. Now I'm driving to the Coming Soon Warehouse because the show started at Sakura. But what happened was the owner of Sakura didn't realize when he allowed this show to happen that it was a lot of straight edge bands. They weren't going to be buying anything, like as far as alcohol goes, and probably food. Because we didn't really do that at shows. Like maybe at Spanky's you'd buy fries in the back or something, or maybe a soda or a water, but so anyway, they kicked us out. So we had to move this to the Coming Soon Warehouse, which is where I'm going to now, and we're gonna see that when I get there. At Sakura, my band Ice played, and I don't know how many people attended the Day of the Dog 1, but at Sakura, for the Day of the Dog 2, there was probably somewhere between 30 and 50 people. So we played, we didn't open, but we played. Full Contact played after us, I want to say. Floodgate played. And then Blind Spot played, and I remembered Robin standing behind people as Blind Spot were playing, tapping his hand like he was holding a watch, like you gotta hurry up, because we were being kicked out. So then the show got moved to the Coming Soon Warehouse. And the big thing that I heard was that Outspoken, who weren't gonna play, were actually gonna play. So I was really excited, because I'm like, oh, I get to see Outspoken amongst the other bands. I think Underhand, and there were some other bands. So anyway, yeah, I'm driving there right now. I have the address. Hope I'm able to find it. I would really like to thank Joel Jaqubino. Once again, hopefully I'm saying your name correctly, because he gave me the flyers that kind of let me piece this whole thing together. So right now I'm driving to where the Coming Soon warehouse is in Anaheim. We're going to take a look at that. And there were some other shows there with Blackspot and whatnot. Oh gosh, who was that? Who was that other band? Sludge Pot. And so, yeah, looking forward to seeing that. Let's do it. Hope you're enjoying this bumpy scene stop. All right, we are here. Behind me, it's at 1165C. So it's somewhere, there's A, B, and there's C. That's where the Coming Soon warehouse was. There seems to be a bush in front of it, which I don't remember, but this whole area looks very familiar. In fact, in my mind's eye, this is where I remember the Coming Soon warehouse being. And for years, for work in like the 2010s, I was driving here every week, and I didn't remember it until today. And I'm driving, and suddenly when it said make a right on La Palma, and then I realized where it was, I was like, this is where the Coming Soon warehouse is. And so yeah, it is right behind me, and it's right in there. It's number C, and it's 1165C. And I just remember, this is also the parking lot. This may be, I mean, this is the actual parking lot where Farside or Kevin Murphy was handing out flyers for Rigged. And that's when they were announcing, I want to say it was like, I believe it was 93. And that's when they were giving out flyers, and it said, you know, Farside's newest record on Revelation, Rigged. And then later I asked Popeye, why is it called Rigged? And he just laughed and said, because that's what all our equipment is. So this is where the Coming Soon warehouse is and was, and it's just crazy to see it. I'm gonna go see if I can look around and maybe find some more stuff. I don't know how welcome I am here, but I'm gonna try. Okay, so I just talked with some people, and I want to find the back area where the Coming Soon warehouse was, because I remember we would sort of hang out in the back area. The guy told me that there used to be a lot of parking back there, which I just remember us sort of hanging out there in between bands. So here, I'm entering the alley. I'm going to flip this around. Apparently Disney owns all this now, which is very interesting. And yeah, the Scenestop is, this is what I love about it. It's like detective work, and we're finding out where things were. But what I love is it's not too different than how I remember it. It's different. Come on, I was 19 in like the 90s, you know, but this was the back area. I remember hanging back here with Loman and his truck. And so, okay, I think Disney owns these warehouses. So Disney owns all this. And this is like I remember it. This is, I mean, everything that I recall. I remember Blackspot playing. We played here with Farside, Downer. We played with Smile. I remember there was just tons of people. So yeah, I guess this would be C. So this would actually be the Coming Soon warehouse. Because I'm assuming, yep, 165C. So this was the door. Wow, I can't believe. It usually doesn't happen this way, guys. But look, 165C, where the tractor's in front of. This is the Coming Soon warehouse. So inside are where the shows would happen. And then the door would open up and we'd all file out. 165C, Coming Soon warehouse. Well, I would like to thank everyone for watching this, coming on this Scenestop with me. We got through the Day of the Dog. We got through some of the other shows that happened here. I obviously didn't go to every show that happened here, but I came to a lot of them. And it's just nice that even though that was many, many years ago, it's still kind of how I remember it. And, you know, the more things change, the more they stay the same. And it's nice to, every so often, find something that is, you know, kind of as you remember it. Just because, you know, the older we get, things change and we kind of lose things and we lose our memories of things. And, you know, it's nice to return somewhere like the Coming Soon warehouse and have a place like this in Orange County have this kind of alley mean something.